Hello, it's Kadisha. I'm back with another video. Do not count yourself out. And this is something that came to my attention today when I was out and being with some women. We came to a time where we were doing a raffle. And so it's something we do every month. And this person didn't want to do it. Like they usually don't want to do it. And so I asked them today, I was like, did you want to put your name in? I said, did you put your name in? That's what I said. And they were like, yeah, kind of add to it. I was like, I'm glad, because you never be putting your name in there. And they were like, because, I don't need it. And it sparked something in my mind, because oftentimes it's not that God can't or won't do things through us. It's that we oftentimes count ourselves out before we even get the chance to do something. And so I just want to encourage anybody tonight who may have this feeling or may not even be aware that they have this. I remember that I had to start believing this a couple years ago, where me and some friends, we got together and we did a vision board, and then after we kind of talked about it. And I remember something on my vision board where I was like, I just want to not only believe God, but I want to believe the God in me, and I want to trust that I want to believe that he would do things through me. And that was something that kind of just actually came out. Wasn't something that I intentionally realized that I was doing. And so I just believe it was the Holy Spirit allowing me to realize that, yeah, I believed in God, I believed on God, but I had a cap on what he could do in my life, because I didn't think that he could do things through me. And so I just want to encourage anybody tonight who may be walking through that same season of their lives and not even realizing it, or even if you do realize it, we have to make sure that we're not counting ourselves out. And the reason why I brought up that at the beginning was because she could never win the drawing if she never put her name into it. And she was just like, well, I didn't want to, I didn't need it, I didn't want it. And some things I think about, like, it's not about what we want. And not to talk about that, because that's earthly stuff. But I can remember the story of Esther, where she wasn't technically wanting to be the queen, but Mordecai, basically was telling her, like, basically in that story, he talks about, for such a time as this, the God has called you. But if you decide that you don't want to do it, it's not that the story won't go forward, but you will get punished. Like, you won't escape what's to come. And that's not to put fear in our hearts or anything like that. It's just a realization that sometimes it's not about what I feel like doing. It's not about me being comfortable with what I'm doing. It's me stepping out of that box and allowing the Lord's will to be done. Can we remember when Jesus was talking, in the garden, and he was like, Lord, if any way this cup can pass from me, let it pass, but not my will, but your will be done. And I think that's the prayer that we all, and when I say we all, I'm really talking about myself, to be included in our daily prayers, is to say, not my will, but your will, God, because God has a will, and whether we like it or not, it will go forward. And so I just want us to be encouraged about moving in a way that is, of course, pleasing to God, but also in obedience, in a surrender state, because it makes life easier for one thing, but it also gets the glory of God into your life and to your family's life. And of course, if that's not what you're wanting, then this is not the channel for you. But I believe anybody who clicked on this video, that it was for a certain purpose, and the Lord wanted you to hear this. And so I truly believe that. But I just do want to speak to anybody who may, like I said, be battling with counting themselves out before it even gets started, to be encouraged that God will use you, and he can use you. Remember that he used a little boy, I say little boy, but he used David to beat Goliath. And it was because of David's own obedience to God. And it was him saying, not my will, but thy will. But it was also him, being in preparation for it. So it's a lot of things that come after believing. But first, we do have to believe that God can not only work in us, but he can work through us as well, and get things done in the earth that he wants to get done. So thank you so much for watching. And like I always say, sea a cambio que quieres ver en otros. Until next time, bye.